Hey everyone, I'm here with a quick video on Attorney General from New York, Letitia James. Letitia James was infamous for going after Trump, and she did get a judgment against him, saying he did fraudulent practices to get business loans, etc., etc. But now they're coming after her, and they saying she's going to eat her own words. When she said no one is above the law, they're saying now, Letitia, that includes you. They're claiming that she did some fraudulent things to secure loans to buy houses. Even at one point, which the statute of limitations have run out on this, she claimed that her father was her spouse in order to get a more favorable mortgage loan. Let's go ahead and let me share a screen so we can get more into this story. You know, the thing about when you're going after someone, you got to make sure
office is blessed.
You know, that saying that how you throwing rocks and you live in a glass house, right? It's kind of like that's what's going on here. Let's take a listen.
New York Attorney General Letitia James' office is blasting a federal criminal referral, potentially targeting the AG. The Department of Justice is being asked to investigate after the director of the Federal Housing Finance Agency claimed that James falsified records for home loans in Virginia. The referral says James listed a Virginia property as her principal residence in 2023, despite holding office in New York. Federal officials also say James misrepresented the number of units at a Brooklyn property and previously listed her father as a spouse for more favorable loans. A spokesperson for James released a statement reading, "Attorney General James is focused every single day on protecting New Yorkers, especially as this administration weaponizes the federal government against the rule of law and the Constitution. She will not be intimidated by bullies, no matter who they are." Joining us for a closer look at the referral is legal expert Nicole Brennecki. Nicole, thank you for joining us. This referral comes after James launched a civil fraud trial into the Trump organization. Do you anticipate action from the DOJ, including criminal charges?
Good afternoon, Cindy. Thank you for having me. I think we all remember the big, bold civil fraud case that she brought against Trump and prevailed. And she has built her entire career on exposing deception. So right now, it's a very problematic situation for her because she's being accused of the same act that she accused Trump of. And I think there is a high probability that they will go after her. Civil fraud is when you sign a declaration or make any statement to obtain some favorable outcome, some benefits of any type. So in this particular case, it would be more favorable mortgage terms. If that is proved, then that constitutes civil fraud.
So the referral mentions other mortgage fraud cases involving public figures in other parts of the country. Does that precedent hold any weight?
Precedents hold weight in terms of federal law. So if this is prosecuted as a federal act and these prior acts were also federal, then it definitely holds a precedent because it pertains to the same statutes.
Now, some of the allegations are decades old. Are there any statute of limitations on mortgage fraud cases?
Yes, there are statutes of limitations on all types of fraud cases because time passes and witnesses disappear, documents disappear, and memories wane. So there is a statute of limitation. I think that is why that last instance where she allegedly declared her husband, her father, her husband, that was mentioned the last in the letter because it's just, I think, inflammatory at this point because it was so long ago.
Okay, Nicole Brennecki, thank you so much for your insight. Stay with CBS News.
Woo, she's in a little bit of a hot water there. Let me go ahead and share screen again. Tish James will eat her own words, okay? So no matter how big, rich, or powerful you think you are, no one is above the law. That's what she said when she was going after Trump. Those words by New York State Attorney General Letitia James echo throughout the media, lionizing her after her office secured a judgment against Donald Trump for false business practices, including misrepresentations on loan documents. They may echo even louder this week as James finds herself the subject of a criminal referral for committing alleged financial fraud to secure her own property loans. On April 14th, William, director of the Federal Housing Finance Agency, sent a referral letter to the Justice Department detailing alleged false statements made in filings by James to secure housing loans. For an attorney general who just prosecuted Trump for everything short of ripping a label off a mattress, the details and the referrals are particularly damning. Indeed, the greatest danger is that the Letitia James standard could be applied to Letitia James in guaranteeing that no one is above the law. The allegations against James run from the demonstratively false to downright bizarre. In securing a loan for a home in Norfolk, Virginia, James is accused of claiming through her representative that the property would be her principal residence. As the referral notes, primary residents receive more advantageous rates. However, as the sitting New York Attorney General of New York, James is required by law to have a primary residence in the state of New York. Notably, the Justice Department has prosecuted those who have committed this common fraud. For example, in 2017, it charged a man in Puerto Rico with false statements on a reverse mortgage loan application in which he falsely claimed the property as his principal residence. It emphasized that mortgage lenders provide capital so people can purchase homes, not enrich themselves illegally. There are other such cases under 18 U.S.C. 1014 and related laws. James could claim that these representations were made by a third party acting on her behalf. However, that is precisely the argument that she repeatedly rejected in the Trump case, insisting that he was legally obligated to review all filings made in his name or that of his companies. Oh, God. Coming back to bite her. James is also accused of misrepresenting a 5-unit property in Brooklyn as a 4-unit property to receive better interest rates and to receive mortgage assistance through the Home Affordable Modification Program. The referral also includes a claim that James filed papers that listed herself and her father as a married couple. The referral notes that just last year, Baltimore State Attorney Marilyn Mosby was convicted by Biden administration of filing a forced mortgage application. Another case resulted in a guilty plea last week for fraudulent filing in a home loan. The timing for James could not be worse. The Trump civil case has languished on appeal for months with a long overdue opinion. The appellate argument did not go well for James in a case that resulted in a gross tax $500 million fine after no one lost a dime. James accused Trump of inflating property values in filings, a common practice in the real estate field. It did not matter that the company warned banks to do their own evaluations. It did not matter that the bank officials testified that they made money on the deal. Indeed, the victim wanted more business from Trump. None of that matters. James not only demanded an even greater fine, but wanted to foreclose on Trump properties after Trump was told to secure a ridiculous $455 million bond to simply secure appellate review. Throughout that case, James repeated her mantra that there would be no exceptions for the rich and the powerful. Oh, God, it's going to come back to bite her, y'all. She insisted that accuracy on such financial records is essential and must be rigorous and enforced. Many of us objected that James was selectively targeting Trump after she ran for office on a pledge to nail him for some unspecified offense. James insisted that this was not lawfare and that she would prosecute anyone guilty of false or misleading statements on financial filings. She is now allegedly that person. It is not clear what James' defense will be to these allegations. However, she may cite the Supreme Court recent decision in Thompson versus the United States, which said in March that 18 U.S.C. 1014 does not criminalize statements that are merely misleading but are not false. The problem is if proven these statements are not misleading, they are false. Either this was James' principal residence or it was not. And how could a residence in Virginia be her principal residence when she was the Attorney General of New York and you have to live in New York? This is going to get nasty. Either this was a 4-unit property or it was not. They're saying her property in Brooklyn is greater than a 4-unit property. Good gosh, girl. The allegation is that these statements coincided with loan conditions that would give James a financial advantage. James has one likely advantage. She is unlikely to be prosecuted by New York prosecutors using this ridiculous law weaponized against Trump. She emphasized that Trump did not have to produce a single penny of loss for a victim to be hit with $500 million in fines. But that was Trump, and this is New York. There will be no mob or media frenzy demanding charges. There will certainly be no James explaining how such prosecutions are essential. Because no matter how big, rich, or powerful you think you are, no one is above the law. And those are her words. So she's saying that no one is above the law, then surely she has to include herself. And no one is above the law. And if she did some fraudulent things to secure her loans to buy homes in Virginia, in New York, then she's going to have to pay the piper, because no one is above the law. Listen, guys, chat with me in the comments, and when I get an opportunity, I will chat back. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe. Hit the notification bell so that every time I upload a video, you will be notified. If you are a subscriber, welcome back. Everybody, thanks for watching. She got an uphill battle. This doesn't look good. How are you going to prosecute me? And I know this is not about whether you like the person she was going after or not. We have to stop that. Right is right and wrong is wrong. How are you going to prosecute me saying I did X, Y, Z, and then meantime back at the ranch, you was doing the same thing? Hit the like button, people. Chat with me. Let me know your thoughts, and I'll see you on the next video.